Honestly, after that show, where do you start? Well, I'll start by acknowledging, but not acknowledging Roman Reigns. I'll acknowledge that this show and Triple H both absolutely suck. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. Time to unfortunately review SmackDown for the 21st of April 2023. It's the third SmackDown since WrestleMania, and it's the third SmackDown that has absolutely sucked since WrestleMania. And it is fair to say, in my opinion, hands down, since WrestleMania, out of the three brands, and yes, I'm including NXT, SmackDown's easily been the worst brand so far. At least we've seen some good things on Raw. I've seen a couple of good things on Raw. We've actually had some decent NXT shows. SmackDown has been garbage now for 3 weeks straight. The whole thing is absolutely terrible. But we do need to start somewhere. Unfortunately, I can't start in the opening match because I didn't see it. I missed like the first 15, 20 minutes of SmackDown tonight. I didn't record it, so I couldn't go back and rewind. And to be honest, I'm kind of grateful for that because it's 20 minutes less of this shit show that I need to see. So it was Finn Balor and Damian Priest versus Santos Escobar and Rey Mysterio, Mr. 619, the Hall of Famer, who feels like a jobber right now, let's be honest. Didn't see it. Judgment Day won though. Can't say whether it was a good match or not. But honestly, this LWO faction is horrible. It is horrible. It is four bums just been paired with Rey Mysterio. And I actually like Legado del Fantasma in NXT. But since they come up to SmackDown, I think they won on their first week, and then they just went on a series of matches where they jobbed out constantly. We were not built up who they were. We weren't told who they were. There was no vignettes, no segments, no promos. Literally one Selena Vega came out and said that she's in charge or whatever, and that's it. I mean, Legado del Fantasma have been a joke since getting called up to the main roster, and now they think putting some LWO shirts on them and teaming them up with Rey Mysterio is going to make them great. No, I mean, it doesn't make them great. It just makes them part of a shitty jobber faction. I mean, Rey Mysterio deserves more than this, and I even think Legado del Fantasma deserve more than this. But look, whatever. The Judgment Day win. We will move on. Then Selena Vega enters Adam Pearce's office and she says she can't control what happens in the draft, but she can control what happens right now. She asked for a shot at the SmackDown Women's Championship against Rhea Ripley at Backlash, and she says since it's happening in Puerto Rico and she's the only female Puerto Rico star on the roster, she should get the title shot. And Adam Pearce agrees. Adam Pearce just hands her a title shot. He doesn't say, no, you need to go and pin somebody. If it was me, I would have said, Selena Vega, you need to let me pin you in the bedroom for at least 3 minutes. But no, he doesn't say any of that. He just gifts her a title shot out of absolutely nowhere, man. And this whole thing sucked. I mean, why is Selena Vega getting the title shot? Why doesn't Adam Pearce at least book her in a match so that she has to win to get the title shot? Then maybe if she does win, it gives you a little bit of believability that she can maybe do something against Rhea Ripley. But no, she literally pulls the Puerto Rico card and she gets a shot basically based on her nationality. I mean, that is horrendous. I mean, where is the storytelling here? Where's the logic? There's nothing. I mean, this is basic fucking wrestling. Why can't she ask for a match? Then Adam Pearce says, well, if you can beat so-and-so tonight, you get your match. But no, she asked for a match. Adam Pearce is like, okay, fair enough. I'll speak to management and book it. And he says he'll speak to Rhea Ripley. Why doesn't he speak to Rhea Ripley? Rhea Ripley can't pick and choose who she defends the title against. That's not a champion's luxury. You don't get to choose who you defend the title against. He's supposed to be in charge. He's supposed to be the official. He's supposed to be the man that makes things happen. He makes fucking nothing happen. The only thing he does is make the channel change. The guy absolutely sucks. Scrap Daddy belongs to be sent to the scrapyard. But anyway, that was it. Selena Vega gets her title shot at Backlash. It's not the worst Backlash match that was made tonight, but honestly, could Selena Vega not have at least earned it? Could we not have done that? I guess not. Moving on, what did we get next? We got a hype video package on Shinsuke Nakamura. We see Nakamura is training and someone's talking in the background saying, oh, it's King Nakamura. Are they still going with this King gimmick? Didn't he win the King of the Ring like years ago? Why are they still calling him King? It doesn't make any sense. And then Cross appears backstage in like a vignette, and he says that identity, it takes a lifetime to find, but it can be destroyed in 3 seconds. Cross then asks Nakamura if he sees superstar tarot cards on the table. Cross says he didn't hurt these people. He's never hurt anyone in his life. It was the cards. So Cross says that he took out Drew McIntyre, he took out Riddick Moss, he took out Rey Mysterio, and that he's going to take Nakamura's honour away. Then he says TikTok, and I mean, really, I'm surprised that I'm surprised this guy's still employed, and B, I mean, the women's division in WWE sucks. If you watched the Impact like 6 years ago, you know how good Scarlett Bordeaux can be as a character. When she was the Smoke Show on TNA, that was fucking entertaining as shit. But all she gets to do is basically stand beside Karrion Kross and look pretty while he bores us to death on the mic while he talks. That's not good enough for Scarlett Bordeaux. Scarlett Bordeaux is way better than that, and she's way better than Karrion Kross. But we move on. We get the Viking Raiders now versus Braun Strowman and Ricochet. Give me a roar, Braun. Roar! Here we come. Braun Strowman, the monster among men. What a fucking fanny this guy is. Big, skinny, chino, jean-wearing pussy, man. I cannot stand Braun Strowman. You talk about failed comebacks. Triple H has failed a lot of people, and he's failed with a lot of people. But this Braun Strowman comeback might be the worst of them all. How can they make a 6'10" guy be so pathetic? Honestly, and they're calling him the monster among men. Look at the things that monsters have done in wrestling. Look at the people that we've had that look like monsters. We're currently rewatching ECW, the WWE version of it, and we're currently at the stage where like Big Daddy Fee's getting his monster push, pun intended, on ECW. And Jesus Christ, Big Daddy Fee's got the facial expressions, the way he works in the ring, he's like impactful. Every move looks like it's crushing his opponents. And he legit carries himself. He walks like a monster. He talks like a monster. He looks like a monster. He's got a theme song that sounds like a monster. He's got a presence that looks like a monster. Everything Big Daddy Fee does is monster-like. Then you've got fucking Braun Strowman, who looks like an overgrown man-child. The guy fucking sucks. And speaking of sucks, the Viking Raiders suck as well. I mean, this team went almost unbeaten for a year. They got injured in that period. They were unbeaten before they got injured. They came back and then they went unbeaten again for another long period. And, like, where did it go? Nowhere. Because the Usos had the tag titles. They couldn't do anything with the Viking Raiders. And now, in the past few months, they've literally jobbed it to everybody. They've jobbed it to the New Day. They've jobbed it to Drew and Sheamus, and now they've jobbed it to Braun Strowman and Ricochet. And these are tag teams that they haven't even been getting title shots. And the Viking Raiders have been losing to them. So, honestly, and I don't like the Viking Raiders. I'm not a big fan. I'm not saying the Viking Raiders have been done dirty or whatever. But it's like, why waste well over a year building these guys up to be this dominant tag team, this almost unbeatable tag team, yet in the space of like 3 months, you completely ruin them. And now they're nobodies. Honestly, now the Viking Raiders, they've got this like jobber status. You expect them to lose now. I mean, they're losing to Braun Strowman and Ricochet, who aren't even a real team. So who the hell would expect the Viking Raiders to beat the Usos? Who the hell would expect the Viking Raiders to beat KO and Sami or any decent tag team? You know, you wouldn't. You just wouldn't expect it to happen. So yes, Ricochet and Strowman get the win. Then we got a really, really bad Liv Morgan promo. She said she's fired up, and then DePhil turns her back and does the back pose. I mean, why do we need to see that every single fucking week? We don't, but we get to see it anyway. Then we get the title match, Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. What is this gimmick with Liv Morgan and Chelsea Green like squirting water on each other? Look, if you want to dress these chicks up in bikinis and have them have like water gun fights or whatever, put them in a paddling pool, then fair enough. Put them in a hot tub, then great. But otherwise, this is just dumb. They're literally just squirting water on each other. Like, who wants to see this? Like I said, stick some bikinis on them, or stick nothing on them, even better. And yeah, they can play in all the water they want. But I mean, as the king would say, puppies! But I mean, come on, I don't understand why they're doing this. Oh, I sprayed water on you, so I'm going to spray... I mean, what? Are we 5 years old? Are we fucking 5? And yeah, this is great Triple H booking. You know, that apparently this is a masterful show. Absolutely fucking horrendous, this show. Honest to God, man, this absolutely sucks. Liv Morgan and Raquel win. We then I mean, this is just match after match after match after fucking match. I mean, where is the characters? Where is the development? Where's the funny segments? Where's the promos? We don't get shit. We just get match, fucking match. We move on now. Xavier Woods versus Gunther. People can say Gunther's great. At the end of the day, Gunther's just this big, boring guy that can't speak much English, boring in the ring, just flat out fucking boring. His title reign's boring too. And then you've got Xavier Woods. What is Xavier Woods? I mean, he's a black guy pretending to be gay with another two black guys that wear dildos on their head and eat pancakes and come out of fucking bootios. I mean, what is this? Honestly, how do we care about Woods and Gunther? We don't. The match was alright, but who cares? I don't give a shit about this match. Gunther then chokes out Woods, and the female referee tries to break it up at the end. Gunther wins by, like, you know, a sleeper hold, and then she tries to break the sleeper hold. It's like, come on. I mean, where's the believability in this? What, Cody Rhodes can batter 30 security men, but this one woman can break the sleeper hold that Gunther has got on Woods? Absolute garbage. That's what this is, guys. Garbage. Then we got the Usos. The Usos came down to the ring, cut a promo, spoke about how they're getting their rematch next week and that they're going to win the belts. That's literally all that they said. Nothing interesting here. And then they spoke about a big six-man... They spoke about the Backlash tag match, then the match at WrestleMania. But, I mean, the Backlash WrestleMania rematch. Who cares? They introduced Solo Sikoa, no DQ main event. Solo Sikoa versus Matt Riddle. Solo Sikoa's in the ring, he's waiting on Riddle. Riddle comes out, attacks him from behind. We have the match. I mean, the match again was okay, but it's like, I'm just not really interested. This is not really a main event. I mean, this is a guy that has never been in the main event who's just returned from injury versus a guy that is the fourth most important member of a four-man stable. This isn't main event worthy. Now, maybe if you have Roman Reigns out there, if you have Paul Heyman at ringside, or you have Kevin Owens and Sami involved, or even if they're not at ringside, even if they're backstage watching, it might feel a little bit more important. But to simply just have Solo Sikoa and Matt Riddle out there, I mean, does anybody really care? And we all knew it was going to happen. We all knew Solo was going to win. The Usos come out, they attack Riddle. Well, Riddle had the announce table like thrown on top of Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa gets up, and then he gets in the ring. He has a bit of a counter fest with Riddle. Riddle counters the Samoan Spike a couple of times, but eventually Solo Sikoa hits it. 1, 2, 3, and Solo Sikoa wins. So there you go, guys. Honestly, this show wasn't good. Solo Sikoa wins the main event, but overall, it was disappointing. There was not much to like, and there was very, very little to talk about. Normally, you get lots of segments. Normally, you get lots of entertaining stuff happening. Tonight, nothing. If we're being honest, guys, tonight, nothing really happened. It was just match after match after match. I'm not going to sit here and add up the match times, the overall match times. However, I would suggest that if you did, out of 2 hours, let's say you get about 40 minutes. I mean, I would say normally a SmackDown probably lasts about an hour 20. Is that fair to say? I think that's very fair to say. I reckon if you add up the match times tonight, you easily got over an hour of wrestling. An hour of wrestling. And the other 20 minutes is probably... No, you didn't get any vignette. We got one vignette and it sucked. No, actually, let's talk about what we did get though. So before the main event, Michael Cole and Wade Barrett start talking about Backlash and they start announcing matches. And I cannot believe this. Possibly the weirdest match ever announced for any WWE show. Seth freaking Rollins versus Omos at Backlash. Why? These two guys have never crossed paths. These two guys have never encountered each other. These two guys have no beef. These two guys have no reason to want to fight each other. It doesn't make sense. Honestly, this does not make sense. It feels like they've randomised this matchup. It just doesn't make any sense. It's unbelievable that they booked this. So yeah, we're getting Seth Rollins. You know, hopefully he comes out and he wears his big red clown shoes because this is a clown show. And that's a clown match. And I guess if he wears those big red boots, then they'll be appropriate. That's probably the only time they would be appropriate. But yeah, Seth Rollins versus Omos. Who decided that this was a good idea? Honestly, absolutely terrible. Not a good idea. I don't really care. I'm not an Omos hater, but I'm not a Seth Rollins lover. I don't fucking care for any of them, but this match, so random. What happened to matches actually being made on the show? Like, what happened to actually having somebody challenge somebody and the match getting accepted, or having like the GM, the authority figure, actually make the match official on the show? Why all of a sudden are they just randomly announcing matches? I mean, it's bad enough if the match has got announced. If it's got like hype or whatever, then that's one thing. But this match has got zero hype. This you could not have guessed. Someone could have said to me, "You guess who Seth Rollins is going to face at Backlash? I'll give you £1 million if you guess correct." You wouldn't have got it. There's no way you would have got this. They've just randomly plucked this match out their ass. It's insane. It is absolutely insane. They also announced a triple threat match for the US title. Austin Theory versus Bronson Reed versus Bobby Lashley. I mean, this makes a little bit more sense. But again, why didn't it get announced on Raw? Why didn't we see Bobby Lashley complaining that Bronson Reed cost him the match and that he wanted a shot? And then Bronson Reed's like, I took out Bobby Lashley, I want a shot, and then it gets made a triple threat. Or why couldn't we got announced after Bronson Reed attacked Lashley? Why couldn't they announce that it would be a number one contender match between those two next week? And the winner gets to face Theory. And then who knows, maybe you have a draw, a double count out, or maybe Theory comes out and gets them both DQ'd or something, so that he thinks the match isn't happening, and then they end up making it a triple threat. You could have done anything. You could have literally, there's multiple ways you could go with making this match on TV and doing things to advance it and enhance it, but no. We literally just get an announcement. So again, what is happening here? And Adam Pearce, I guess, must have made it official that Selena Vega, because she's from Puerto Rico and they're having a show in Puerto Rico, she gets, basically gifted out a SmackDown Women's Championship match against Rhea Ripley. So that's it, guys. Backlash, not looking forward to it. Can it be any worse than this show? I don't think so. Also, under the Triple H era, I don't know if you've noticed, well, you probably have noticed, it's like every time they go into pay-per-views now, it's like there's barely any titles on the line. It's like Triple H has made the match cards smaller so the matches can last fucking longer. I mean, that sucks. I remember back in the day, almost at every pay-per-view, titles were on the line. If you had a title, the likelihood is you were defending it, unless something rare was happening. But nowadays, it's like, so more often than not, titles aren't defended at pay-per-views. They're defended on Raw and SmackDown. That's not making the title feel more important. If anything, that's devaluing the title by constantly giving out these shots on free television. I just don't understand it, man. People are going to praise Triple H no matter what he does. I know people hate McMahon and people will say this Triple H era's good. It's not good. It's just as bad. I'd argue it's actually worse than it was before Triple H took over, guys. It's not a good show. It's not a good company. It's not a good product. And it's probably not a good review either, to be honest, but that's what happens when it's like 3:30 in the morning and you have to talk about this shite. So there you go, guys. SmackDown review. I am going to give this... you know what? Because, I mean, the main event and the Intercontinental title match were both decent, I guess, but I didn't care for any of them. I'll give it a 1 out of 10, but honestly, if I don't care for a match, it doesn't matter how good it is. If you don't care, if you're not invested, then who actually cares? No one cares. So I'll give it a 1 out of 10, guys. Let me know your thoughts down below. But yeah, SmackDown, in my opinion, absolutely sucked. I'll catch you in the next one. Till then, peace.